Monroe MMA here at the Forum, Kentish Town, London. Super Saturday, Cage Warrior 69. I'm here with Kerry Hughes after an impressive stoppage of Amanda Kelly. Can you talk us through the first round of that fight? Because it just seemed in the second you picked up your rhythm a little bit. How did it feel in the first?
To be honest with you, the first round didn't really go hard to plan. Like, I had sort of, not necessarily a strict game plan, but I had sort of in my mind what I was planning to do. And I went out there, and sometimes you get a bit of a mental block. It just wasn't flowing quite how I felt it should. So I was taking her to the cage, and then she's changed the way she fights slightly. For me, it's the first time I've gone out there with this kind of game plan in mind, and it wasn't really flowing that well. Came out of the first, obviously I've got the best corner you could hope for in MMA. They've spoken to me, they've seen obviously what's going wrong, what's going right, and they've told me how to change it up. Went out in the second round with just feeling a lot fresher, a lot more confident, and it went really well.
She's obviously well known as a Muay Thai practitioner, excellent striker. You popped her with the right in the first, dropped her on her backside. Did that give you perhaps even more confidence going in, knowing that you could hurt this girl with your right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, from my perspective, obviously, I'm not the tallest fighter, but I do a lot of strength and conditioning. Like, I'm lucky enough that my other half's my strength and conditioning coach, so I live it day in, day out, and I am quite physically strong, quite powerful for my size. So going up against someone who's so technical and so experienced, I have got quite accurate hands, and I have got a bit of strength behind it, and it was nice to know that I had something to counteract it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Amanda's Muay Thai. I've watched her fight Julie Kitchen, and she's a really enjoyable fighter to watch. So for me, it was a real great honour to be in the cage with her anyway, and to get that result was just amazing.
You talk about strength and conditioning, and far be it from me to ever bring up a lady's weight, but for all intents and purposes, when we saw you going out today, you look a physically different specimen than even your last fight. Do you feel that way?
Massively. I mean, my last fight, I was a lot fatter than I am now. It's true, I was carrying a lot more body fat. I wasn't as conditioned. I mean, my last fight, career worst performance, not something I ever want to relive, and that's what gave me so much more drive this time. I wanted to go out there and say, look, I got signed to Cage Warriors on the back of some really good performances. What you saw me do last time isn't me, it's not how I fight, and this is me, this is how I fight, and this is what I'll be showing people more of, and hopefully a more improved version of as we go on.
I think people have to take notice of you. If they weren't before, they have to after that performance. And behind a performance like that, there's got to be people you want to say thank you to, and sponsors. Please, who would you like to shout out? Who would you like to thank?
Of course, I mean, as I've already said, like my other half, Ray, is amazing. I live with him, he does all my strength and conditioning. I could not get through the day without the emotional support, and I'm weight cutting, everything. Steve Biley, Jack Mason, I've got an amazing team of coaches, Nick Albert, Sean Carter, Lee Catling, Stuart Barlegs. There's so many people that I could thank and say they're amazing. I get to train people at Arnold Allen every day, and they're such a great team to work with. They give up their spare time for nothing. Like, I couldn't ask for better. Russ, the coach from Champions Boxing, who's been getting that right hand nice and heavy and straight. And then there's my sponsors who help me get through a fight camp, help my nutrition. So E-Protein, fantastic supplement store. British Fighter, who just make the best clothes ever. I love fighting in their kit. I've got Lockdown Fightwear and Pound Out, who both sent me some awesome kit, and they look after me to make sure I've always got the stuff I need. I'm privileged to be sponsored by Potential. It's a really good training centre in Colchester. So I've got the gym there and the amazing facilities, as well as a nutritionist there, Karina Howe. I mean, this weight cut, I barely had to cut water. It all brought down nutrition-wise, and it's changed the way I fight, the way I am physically. And just my family, everyone who comes to watch, and, you guys who support MMA, and just keep making it a great place to train and work. So thank you.
I got to say, performances like that, the name Kerry Hughes is not going to go unnoticed any time after this performance. Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to watch you work. Thank you. You too.